Hey everybody. Okay, so we have a bunch of updates in the tragedy of what happened to athletic director and former coach John Beam, who is also on the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum Joint Powers Authority Board of Directors. Uh, I received an update. First of all, two updates. I'm going to go with them in order. I got a text from Alameda County Supervisor and friend Nate Miley, and Nate. He said that Uh, all I know is that Coach Beam was shot in the head, and I'm considering it akin to an assassination. I asked him if he would, come on, as Elihu did, make do statements, and his response was, "It's extremely sad and so hard to believe." It certainly is. I am not emotionally in a condition to speak on it now. I am too heartbroken. That was from Alameda County Supervisor Nate Miley. Um, the statement was I want to thank again Mark Johnson, the executive director of media and public relations and communications for Peralta College, who was kind enough to send this statement. Earlier today, a shooting took place at the Laney College Fieldhouse. The Oakland Police Department responded quickly and is investigating the crime. The victim was Laney College Athletic Director John Beam, who is currently in critical condition at Highland Hospital in Oakland. The Peralta community is devastated by his shooting and deeply concerned for his well being. We are stunned and heartbroken that such violence has touched our campus and one of the most respected and beloved members of our Laney, Peralta, and Oakland community. John Beam is a renowned coach, teacher, mentor, and leader whose impact extends far beyond athletics. Our thoughts are with him and his family. Laney College campus will be open tomorrow, November 14th, and mental health and counseling services will be available to all athletes, students, and employees. We encourage anyone who needs support to reach out. We are in close communication with authorities and will share additional information as it becomes available. Our immediate focus is on supporting Athletic Director Beam, his family, and the students and employees who are affected. And that is by Mark Johnson, Executive Director, Department of Marketing, Communications, and Public Relations, Peralta Community College District. So everyone is asking the one question, why? And I'll get your first. And he says, "That's horrible. I pray for you." Yeah, we all pray for Coach Beam's recovery. Um, I and he says, I definitely pray for the family as well. Thank you. The question is why, and I remember going back when I first reported this upon hearing that first of all there was no active shooter, and according to the Oakland Police Department officer that uh, made the report, and then second, he said that this man was wearing, the suspect was wearing all black and a hoodie, and was considered to be at large, missing. They couldn't find him, and they're presumably still, of course, looking for him. I don't know how that's going. I'm going to check and see if there have been any other press updates since that time. But, what's in my mind, folks, is why the heck is this happening? We had, on top of Skyline yesterday and other incidents during the week that involve businesses and people, it just seems to be this ongoing, constant stream of violations of life in Oakland. It doesn't matter if it's a robbery or assault or a carjacking or this. And it seems like, well, yeah, it could happen to anybody at any time, anywhere, and for whatever reason. Now, we have to, and a number of people have said this, get to a point where we don't solve our problems with guns. But this is happening, in my view. I'd love to hear yours or see yours in text. Too often in Oakland, to the point where we really need to take drastic action. When I worked for Elihu as economic advisor, he and then city manager Robert Bob had a gun buyback program. Their objective was to get guns, as many guns as possible, out of the hands of people in Oakland. And it was fairly effective. But we had something then that we don't have now, something else. And that was between the years of 1995 and 1999 when I worked for Elihu. In 1996, President Clinton put back in the assault weapons ban, if you remember that. We don't have an assault weapons ban now, and we need to have one. We need a nationwide assault weapons ban. We need to have some powerful and drastic action to give law enforcement a raison d'etre to take guns away from people who would be potential criminals and make our society that much safer. Something has to be done. It's too often in Oakland that this is happening. Even if one says, well, okay, maybe we have a legislation that gives special permission to Oakland that perhaps isn't normal in the state of California. Whatever the case, something has to be done to correct the Oakland situation. It can't just be also guns. It has to be economic development because as I pointed out earlier this week, Oakland literally forgot how to do economic development. I mean, get money to businesses, stores in particular, that have been damaged by robbery, damaged by the pandemic, and not able to make enough money to completely recover. So what do? In many cases, they close. And so Gideon says, is John Beam still alive? Any updates of his progress? He's in critical condition, according to Peralta. Now, when Elihu was on, former Mayor Harris, my once boss, I also still call him boss, he said that he was told that Coach Beam had passed on. So the picture we have now is of a Coach Beam. I was the first report, sadly, that he was shot in the head because Elihu said that. That has been confirmed by other sources, but I mean, I hesitate to say this. Yeah, yeah, no, please, no. I hesitate to say this, but it is what happened. It's very hard to deal with. That's why I say this has to be considered a wake-up call for us to stop fooling around with this and actually take action, and actually take meaningful action, because that's the only just response to what's going on in this case. Otherwise, we're left to ask the question, how bad does it have to get? And the other question is, isn't this bad enough? Right? So, hold on one second here. Hey, I'm on. I got a Peralta. I got a statement from Peralta. Okay. Do you want to come on and talk about it, because I'm on live now? Oh, he's not. Okay. I just got a call from Elihu. Elihu said that that John Beam is not dead. Here's the update, folks. That John Beam is not dead, but they're probably going to wind up pulling the plug on him. So, so there you are, Gideon. There you are. Ooh. I am sorry. Um, like yeah, I am, whew, uh, completely nonsensical. I am really sorry that this happened. Yeah, oh, this is really hard to say the least. That's Gideon's damn it sums it up right there. We have got to do something to make sure this stops happening. And I don't want to hear that it's not possible. The problem in our city is wherever you turn, it seems that the government response to doing anything is we can't afford that, or it provides some reason why something can't be done, and it doesn't figure out creative ways to try anything except running to Washington and begging for money that might not come, as opposed to, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, I don't care how many times I have to say it, using tax increment financing and having a new development program and have a comprehensive plan to inject investment into our city again. We can't just say we're going to stop the crime. We have to we have to change the environment within which the crime is happening. And we have a marked disinvestment culture in Oakland because, look, people aren't spending money. That's why businesses are closing. People don't have avenues to grow in Oakland in terms of business or in terms of their personal lives and their safety. They're hard to find. And so uh, Gideon says, I hate Oakland so much the government doesn't care for us. It doesn't seem to, does it? It really doesn't. And it has this situation where it doesn't listen. It's more concerned about being a thing, either progressive or something, rather than effective. And that's the only mark of government's concern should be that, to be effective, and that's it. Uh, this is horrible. It is horrible beyond belief that this is happening. It is the worst scenario that anyone could imagine. That this is going to happen, and so and I may even have to update that headline. I think I'm going to have to reflect this truth. It's that I'm going to have to make a video on top of the video to say what I just told you, because that news is out there, and it's got to be reported, and it hurts. It really does hurt. Um, so uh, it didn't need to happen to somebody who cared about Oakland. All right, it did not. And also, what about, there ought to be a gigantic reward put out, like right now. The mayor should put out a reward right now. Say, look, $20,000 to start. To start, just pile up from there, um, for reward for any tip that leads to the arrest of the person responsible for the murder, whereas Supervisor Miley called it quite correctly the assassination of Coach Beam. Uh, no other way to put it. No other way to put it. I'm writing. John Beam. Gideon says the police know who the killer is. They have cameras around campus inside the office. That's a great point, Gideon. That's a great point. Well, how long does it take a person to go through that and trace, right? Um, wait a second. John Beam update. Update. Excuse me. Colon. Let's see. Laney College. Laney College AD. in critical condition, but Highland Hospital may have to stop. May have to pull plug. I'm going to report it as I was told by the mayor. That's the headline. This is the hardest headline I've ever written in my entire life. It just is. And it just is. This is not something that needs to happen. And when people are going to realize we need to add investment in Oakland to make Oakland a place people want to be in. That's why we need the NFL. That's why we need the NBA. That's why we need the Major League Baseball. That's why we have to stop this attitude toward business that we have. Who cares if somebody's a billionaire? We need the investment, and then we have to understand how to make the investment make our lives better by directing it. We used to do that. Okay? All of this is part of what makes what we used to say at Berkeley was a healthy city. When the healthy cities movement was a thing back when I was in grad school in the 80s. Oakland does not have a healthy city. And we don't seem to collectively want to make Oakland a healthy city. And it takes an investment, and it takes a will, and it takes an initiative and a level will initiative and to complete this big project. It's gotta, if it doesn't make you mad, there's something wrong. Because it's gotta, this stuff's gotta stop. I hate this. I hate this. And Gideon, I apologize for. But anyway, okay. This is what. And if anybody wants us to make a statement or come on live or anything, please let me know. I'll put you on immediately. Hey everybody! I'm making this update. I'm on live here, but I was informed by Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris that while Athletic Director, Laney College Athletic Director John Beam is in critical condition at Highland Hospital, they also may pull the plug. That is, terminate. And unfortunately, all this goes together. I mean, he was said to have been shot in the head, said to have been in critical condition, so they're trying to figure out how to save him. And now it appears that they're having problems doing just that. And I certainly hope I'm wrong. This is not something that Oakland needs to be associated with the murder of one of its finest. That's what it was. As Nate Miley called it, an assassination of a great man. John Beam was a great man, a man who he was one of the greatest people I've ever had the opportunity to be acquainted with. Didn't know him as well as I knew his boss, Tony Fardella. Tony Fardella was coach at Skyline. I worked for Coach Fardella. I'm Skyline class of 80. We have our 46th reunion coming up. And so, and not something. At any rate, both of these men were great teachers of football and of life. And Beam, as you know, there are stories upon stories upon stories upon stories upon stories of young men he has saved. And it has to be codified in a type of model, the Oakland model, that we used to take care of each other. Because if people, I believe, know that you care, then they will act accordingly and care about others, pass it on. As AJ says, it's a true legend, a true legend. And if you don't know who John Beam is, his biography is extensive, so I'm going to do him the courtesy reading his bio. And some of his many accolades for you. And John Beam is a legendary Oakland football figure, best known as the former head coach of the Laney College Eagles. He is also best known locally as head coach of the Skyline High Titans, who gained national recognition on the Netflix docuseries Last Chance U, and he is currently athletic director at Laney College. And it's Men's Health explained in 2020 why Last Chance U coach John Beam is they called him the godfather of football in Oakland. And it's because he coached over 20 future NFL players. And it says Laney College Eagles, the football team profiled in season 5 of Netflix Last Chance U, is led by Coach John Beam, an Oakland legend. The 2019 season marked Beam's 40th season as football coach in Oakland. It was his 15th at Laney. Beam was brought into the program in 2004 as a running backs coach. He became the offensive coordinator a year later, helping lead the Eagles to 3 conference championships. He took over the head coaching job in 2012, and 6 years later, the Eagles won the state championship. My earlier interview, I talked with Oakland Mayor Elihu Harris, about what he saw in Beam to bring him in. He said, of course, the success at Skyline and his focus on winning and producing a program that helped young men. I'm paraphrasing. At any rate, the John Beam that we see in the Last Chance U, this is Men's Health writing. However, it doesn't seem to be the John Beam of past seasons, an observation made by many coaches. And they said that, like, he mellowed, but he said but he said there wasn't much coddling in the past, but there was only winning. But one of the things that they wanted you to know about Coach Beam is that he's fiercely loyal to Oakland. Beam moved to Oakland in 1982 to coach at Skyline High School. As head coach, the team had 4 undefeated seasons and took home 15 league championships. Think about it, 4 undefeated seasons and took home 15 league championships. Beam's record at Skyline was 160 wins, 33 losses, and 3 ties. Think about it. The Times-Herald called Beam the godfather of football in Oakland, not only because of his tenure, but his dedication to the community. Beam would go out of his way to advocate for Oakland high school students, calling reporters to help give the players exposure and scholarship opportunities. Some of these players weren't even his own. In the Netflix series, Beam's coach has also reported that he received D1 coaching offers, which he declined, opting to stay in Oakland at Skyline. And he's produced a lot of Division I talent. Beam himself may not have been, going D1, but many of his players have. Well, Skyline alone, get this, Beam sent over 100 players, not 10, not 50, 100. 100 players to Division I college football programs. Some even helped take home NCAA Division I national championships. And then there's NFL talent. Beam has coached over 20 NFL players to this point, including running back C.J. Anderson, who, if you know that name, you think, wait a minute, was he also the guy that went to Cal? Yeah. So, who is and former pro football tackle or Pro Bowl tackle Marvell Smith. In total, 7 of Beam's former players had played in the Super Bowl. He doesn't think of Laney College as a last chance university. The premise of the Netflix docuseries is that junior college football programs act as a professional Hail Mary. Players go there for one final shot at college sports dreams. Beam didn't like this characterization, saying, I told Netflix, we're not last chance you, we're your first chance. Your best chance you. Beam went on to explain all those kids from the other seasons either left school, got kicked out of a 4-year school or something. Well, that's not us. You're the kids who came here for a reason. To better your grades or better your football outlook. We're your best chance. More than anything, Beam is most proud of this final point. Under Coach Beam, the Laney football program boasts a 90% graduation and transfer rate. 90%. 90%. And that was by Joshua St. Clair, who's the assistant editor at the time that who wrote this. There's many more. And so Gideon, I'm reporting here, right here, this is our main live stream. Gideon Spence says that he also worked as Laney as a security guard 2 years ago. He's a real role model for him. He says the police need to release the camera footage. I know they have it. What's the holdup on that? That's an excellent question. That is an excellent question, Gideon. People want answers and want to find out what's going on here. But that's the latest news on this stream. I'm going back to this live stream, folks. This is a very, very, very hard day. Catch the person who did this. That's all Lord, I pray. Catch the person who did this. All right. Okay. Thank you. God bless John Beam, and God bless Oakland. You know, we need blessings, not a singular one. We need many blessings. All right. So, okay, so that's the update. Okay, and go on and continue to speak about Coach Beam, and let me see what is also out here. I'm going to look at what's being reported on social media here regarding Coach Beam. And it's John Beam Laney. And so I only see that's the latest is the update that I have there. And let's see, prayers from Raider Nation. Prayers going out to head coach John Beam from members of Raider Nation. And Univision 39 Bakersfield says a legendary former football coach and athletic director of Laney College, John Beam, was shot inside the campus in Oakland. That was just 7 minutes ago. And so I'm going to put, what I'm looking at here on Twitter, I'm going to put over here so you'll see that as well. And then also begin to look for other updates. I know that's hard to read, folks, so I'm going to enlarge it so that you have an easier time of reading it. And we'll move forward. Here, there, okay. I think that's, can I do better than that? I believe I can, there. So that's easier to read, okay? Um, what else? This is the latest. That's Henry K. Lee. That was 15 minutes ago. Update: Oakland Mayor Barbara Lee responds to shooting. Laney College Athletic Director and ex-Laney football coach John Beam day after student was shot at Skyline High Titans. I've learned students from high schools across the city were on campus at the time of shooting were also on lockdown. Okay, that was 15 minutes ago. So it looks like Henry is basically taking his older tweet and putting out again. There is not any new news there, but let's look at, this is the statement from Barbara Lee. It reads as follows. Mayor Barbara Lee: the last 2 days have been incredibly heavy for our city. My thoughts are with Coach John Beam and his loved ones. We are praying for them. Coach Beam is a giant in Oakland, a mentor, an educator, and a lifeline for thousands of young people. For over 40 years, he has shaped leaders on and off the field, and our community is shaken alongside his family. This is the second shooting on an Oakland campus in 2 days, and it is devastating. Schools should be the safest spaces in our city. We need guns off our streets now. Thank you. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you. Thank you. We are standing together praying for Coach Beam and his loved ones. Mayor Barbara Lee. Oh, wow. Wow. And I'll heart that and then repost it. Just not there, not right at all. So fortunately, I'm going to have to share this with Grok because Grok is a little off there. Here, oh boy. It's not a good thing for any of us have to go through at all. It just isn't. Just is not. Okay, so these are, what could motivate somebody to want to do what has been done to Coach Beam? That, I'm not saying that thing has to be justified, but one wonders just what the heck is going on, and why that happened, why that something happened. That's what is boggling my mind, and undoubtedly yours too. So this, excuse me, and I don't want to keep asking the same question over and over again, but because I'm not getting quick answers, right? Unless somebody wants to chime in with something that they find is a reasonable facsimile of an answer. There. It's, I'll give you FYI. Okay. There. All right. Here's this. Okay, so got that out there. And where else here? I'm taking the smaller video and posting it as well. And right here. Now, I want to, if anybody is a former or current student who's had the joy and pleasure of being coached by John Beam, influenced by him in some kind of way, wants to make a statement, please type something. I'll send you a link. Shiva says, I don't agree with this at all. Let's see here. There, nor do I agree with this. Boom. Okay. All right. So, look, like it or not, this has to be talked about. Okay? So, and that's precisely what I'm going to do. If you don't like this news, then ban guns in Oakland. If you don't like the news, stop the crime in Oakland. But don't get after me for talking about it. All right? Because that's only going to make me go more. All right? Period. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of this city at this constant downward slope. From 2022 to now, Oakland Airport has lost 30% of its traffic, of its passenger traffic volume. 30%. That's 1/3. Name another airport that has went through such a decline in so short a time. I mean, I don't know if you all are completely cognizant of the near meltdown appearance that Oakland has taken on. We've lost not one, not two, but 3 sports teams in less than 10 years. Our airport has lost 30% of its passenger traffic volume between 2022 and 2025. 30%. Do you need more indicators to let you know there are problems? Major hotels in default on their loans? Legendary businesses in many cases closing? I mean, does it take Oakland reaching the appearance of a ghost town before you get that, hey, there's a problem? Or is that somebody's intent? That, oh, we're just going to make this a whole ghost town so we can, buy it up again or do what? And what's that going to do without a plan? It's one thing to say you're going to buy something, but if you have no plans, it doesn't help anybody. And the organization that should have a plan is the city of Oakland, not some private organization. But that doesn't matter. Private or public, we welcome the plan. But still, this is beyond horrible. And I will write it, this is beyond horrible. Beyond horrible. I want to now go and I wanted to talk more about Coach Beam. And here. And so let's see here. Don't see anything. I just see repeats of the same here. Joshua Calvert. You can see that. If you can't, I will put it up here. That's Joshua Calvert. Joshua Calvert says, this is sad. He gave his whole life to the city of Oakland and poured all his love into young men. All my friends that played football at Laney respected this guy so much. Rest up, Beam. And so this is Coach Beam actually tweeting about an incredible human being gone far too soon. My deepest condolences, he wrote, go out to his family, talking about via pair. and everybody close to him. V will always be a deeply loved member of our Laney football family and will be missed by so many. And so this was 3 hours ago by ABC News explaining that what happened and said that his condition is unknown. That was 3 hours ago. Well, we reported that was in critical condition. And so Shifty QB1 writes, Oakland legend Coach John Beam was shot and killed at Laney campus today after 45 years of changing lives. Laney College head coach John Beam hung up his whistle after last year's football season and retired. He was one of the best coaches I've ever had. Rest in peace, coach. This was world news for tonight, so this is national news. Beloved Laney College Athletic Director John Beam, whose team was featured on Netflix Last Chance U, has been shot on campus, sources tell ABC station KGO. The school was placed on lockdown. It was by Matt Gutman. Coach Gene Beam wrote to 2023, 44 years of coaching spanning across 6 decades. I'm as fired up today as I was year one. 2 claps, ready. There he is. Huh. Wow. Coach Brady Kane posted this 27 minutes ago. My heart is heavy thinking about the godfather of Oakland and the Laney College football community. Coach Beam is a father for thousands of young men who needed a father figure. He poured water on concrete and it grew 10,000 roses. Pull through, coach. 2 claps, ready. This one is multiple sources tell ABC News that the man shot at Laney College. This is 8 hours ago. So that was 7 hours ago. And this is an hour ago by Paulina Gonzalez Brito, who writes, today was a tragic day in Oakland as a second school shooting in as many days struck our city. A shooting at Laney College left beloved football coach in Laney College, the Laney Athletic Director, John Beam, critically injured. My prayers are with Coach Beam, his family, and the entire Laney community. Monty Poole wrote, very short is the list of people who have done as much to support young athletes in the Oakland area as Laney College Athletics Director and football coach John Beam. He has poured himself into the community for 4 decades, hoping he survives this act of violence. And so, Lance Chance U alum, 2019, August 8th, meet Laney College football coach John Beam. 2018 state championship, California Community College football coach of the year, produced over 20 NFL players, 90% graduation and transfer rate. Henry K. Lee, this was 2 hours ago. I shared that statement because it was also directly sent to me by Peralta College. And Coach Beam, January 6, 2022, new from minimum wage job to state champion and Lance Chance U-Star, full D1 scholarship, and with a wife and 2 kids. You've just cashed the check. A college graduate. So proud of you, my brother. 2 claps, ready. Like that. That was Seneca Scott. We're praying for him. John Beam, East Oakland Dad says, John Beam raised an entire generation from Skyline to Laney. I hope he pulls through. Vern Glenn at KPX says, my gosh, it was an honor and a privilege to be present. This is November 16th, 2024, on the sidelines for Laney College Coach Beam's last game after 45 years of coaching in Oakland. Thanks for allowing me to check off a box of running out to get the kicking tee. 2 claps, ready. Laney built. TMZ, 1 minute ago, Last Chance U, star and Laney College Athletic Director John Beam was reportedly shot on Thursday. Read more. So this is national news. I want you to absorb that this is national. There's ABC News, TMZ, um, JUCO football frenzy. After 45 years, this is October 30th, 2024. Laney College head football coach John Beam will hang up his whistle after the football season and retire. And also, I want you. I don't want people to forget this, but Coach Beam was an active member of the Alameda County Joint Powers Authority, and I have one video in action. And so uh, he was focused on making sure that the community uh, um, that the needs of the kids in the Oakland education system were reflected at the Coliseum. Because, and Coach Beam was very good at pointing this out, they weren't. It was common for, and it has been common, it is common for professional sports organizations to make their stadium available for high school football and basketball and baseball championships. That wasn't the norm in Oakland, and it should have been the norm. And it still today isn't the norm. We've spent more time, I have to say this, elevating new, small, tiny, private sports organizations in soccer and baseball, and literally have forgotten to include our high school organizations. The Coliseum sits there ready to be used by these organizations, by the Oakland Athletic League, by junior college organizations. Why not? Why not? That would be one of the greatest honors the city could make in the memory of John Beam, if indeed they have to do what is reported they may have to do. I'm talking about Highland Hospital. The Coliseum should reflect John Beam's wishes. It should be a home for college sports, for high schoolers and junior college goers. It should be a place where championships are played and won. It should be on the map doing that as much as it has done anything else. And it's not something that costs a lot of money to do. We can get sponsors for it. It's something we've got to do. It's something we've got to do. So we can't let this go. So, it's very heart-wrenching. But like I said, someone has to remember his name. And here's something from ABC News right here. Right here. Yeah. So, and Coach Beam wrote this November 13th, 2020. Proud coach right here. Two men that built themselves in the D1 football players from the ground up. The very definition of Laney built in the Aloha State. First chance you, best chance you, last chance you, go Bowls. There. Last chance you alum, Laney College head coach John Beam speaks to team sponsor about what his staff is able to provide for their student athletes and talks about his 90% transfer rate. Love. No spoilers. Here we go with Coach Bean. I'll go back and start.
Chosen this field. I guess a long story is to choose to believe in the young people that we have today and to make it happen. And so, I take pride in it, but I take the pride in not is just letting them know that they can do it, right? I don't do it for them, but a lot of kids have run into hurdles. And when you run into a hurdle, if you've been bad in school or school hasn't been your friend, you immediately see a hurdle and you walk away.
Yeah.
Well, we're there to help them. You know what? We can get over this hurdle together. And that's what it's all about, working together. Because
I want to replay that so you can hear it.
the bulk of our team come from their first time. If we have 90% that transfer, probably 90% or 80% of our football players are first generation college students. So now they get, a degree. We have a young man this year, he's going to get a full Division II scholarship. When he came to us, he didn't even speak English.
No kidding.
He came from Tonga, never played. Been there 4 years now to learn it, but he's got an A degree. He's going to transfer. Didn't graduate high school because in Tonga they didn't really have an accredited high school. But he's achieved that now. He's got great English skills, right? All that stuff. So to me, that's as much winning a championship as we did on the field up in Sacramento.
Sure.
And so we take pride in that, right?
That's
Something
awesome.
that we take pride in. So you get kids that have come back from incarceration. One of the biggest stories I have is Devon Best. He played for me at Skyline, ran into some trouble, did 13-month in youth camp, got out, got him at Hawaii. We went on to break all these records at Hawaii, and then, goes to the NFL as a free agent, spends 6 or 8 years, maybe the top slot receiver. Unbelievable story. But it's hope and opportunity, right? That's
Sure.
what we provide.
That's awesome.
And you got to believe in something, right? And so I've chosen this field. I guess a long story is
it's great.
to choose to believe in the young people that we have today and to make it happen. And so, I take pride in it, but I take the pride in not is just letting them know that they can do it, right? I don't do it for them, but a lot of kids have run into hurdles. When you run into a hurdle, if you've been bad in school or school hasn't been your friend, you immediately see a hurdle and you walk away.
Yeah.
Well, we're there to help them. You know what? We can get over this hurdle together. And that's what it's all about, working together. Because
working together, folks. That's. I'm gonna put the audio reset. Yep, Coach Beam was right. Working together is what it's all about. It's working together. I am again just this is Yahoo Sports right here. Current Laney College Athletic Director and former head football coach John Beam was shot on campus Thursday, according to KGO TV. The Oakland Police Department is investigating the incident. Beam's condition remains unknown. It's critical condition. This was an hour ago. And basically, this is the same news again and again and again. And Oakland police are searching for the shooter. Let me check the Oakland Police website, see if there's any announcement. And I do not see one. 5 hours ago, something about drinking and driving. See something, say something. Nothing about Coach Beam here at all. I don't see anything at all. And so they were having media staging in the parking lot. I believe that was related to Coach Beam. So let's go back here. All right. And Karen Rowan had 7 hours ago had a series on Coach Beam. It's not here. Who is Coach Beam? And this is Agnes Lovelace, something. At any rate, that's just the statement that we've heard before. Bino Nagel, who started the great Oakland Roots organization. Bino says, I'm still at a loss for words in learning of John Beam being shot today at Laney. You would not find a better example of someone who loves Oakland and who has put his heart and soul into impacting the lives of young people in this community. I spent a few years with John working to bring Roots to Laney, including the numerous months it took to even get on his calendar before we had raised our first dollar. The video board our ownership group contributed to the school still stands proudly to this day as a testament to that early partnership, and we hired many of his athletes to work our games, which included some pretty late nights assembling the modular turf field we deployed in the first 2 seasons. He is Oakland through and through, and the fact that even he is subject to the violence of this town after all he's given to it is just insane to comprehend. As I pray for his full recovery, I am at the same time filled with rage about what Oakland has undeniably become. Thank you, Bino. I do not want to hear anyone from the crime is down community. I do not want to hear any more from the restorative justice community. I do not want to hear anything ever again from the Barbara Lee Speaks For Me crowd or to any of the people who support our complete failure of a city council. You are complicit in what Oakland has become. You all have blood on your hands. Oakland needs serious and capable people to guide it forward. It requires fighters like John who are prepared to do the work to clean things up here. People talk about addressing or lowering crime all the time, but the framing of it misses the mark altogether. You can't address crime if you don't address criminals. And to meaningfully address them, you have to combat them. Crime comes at the hand of an individual who is willing to commit it. That limb needs to be severed. A community cannot exist where the prevalence of violence can flourish in the way it does in Oakland. I continue to keep John and his entire family in my prayers and only hope that this moment awakens the beast in Oaklanders who can no longer avoid the unpleasant nature of this all. Act forcefully to save Oakland or forever resign yourself to the fate of what unchecked violence brings and who it brings it to. Bino, you know what? That says it all. I mean, and I did not, and note folks, I didn't sugarcoat what he wrote. I didn't try to gaslight it. That anger that he expresses is just, and we have to address what he's saying because he's right. He is absolutely 100% correct And we have to look in the eye and ask ourselves what the problem is. And the problem collectively is us and how we have not responded. And I said this way back when we started working on the matter of building a home for the Raiders that never happened. I said Oakland has to prove that it has the will and the initiative to complete big projects. Well, folks, getting Oakland back right is a big project. And my assertion is that we do not have the will and the initiative to do it. We can't talk that we do have to. We have to simply sit down and work together and do it. We can't have one group, and I'm saying this to you, Bino, we can't have one group that's so unhappy that it doesn't want to work with the other because it perceives the other group as having done nothing. We need everybody. Everybody, it doesn't matter where they're located either. You could say, hey, Zennie, you're in Georgia. Yeah, I'm here. But as many of you have observed, it feels like I'm there all the time anyway. I'm here for my mom. But I love Oakland. Oakland is a shining city on the hill. You know, it really is. Ram DeMello, way back in 2020, wrote this. He wrote, Laney College coach and new Netflix star John Beam is always willing to give Hawaii football a chance. And he has a link to his program on that and a few feature on Instagram and video from what they were doing in relation to that, including that great off-tackle run you're seeing right there. And then Coach John Beam says, I salute this man, a 22-year veteran. Papa Beam, I love you. Thank you for teaching me how to be a man and stand up to others. Wow. That's huge. That's huge. Pop is his dad. Coach Beam says, 5 years ago, a video scoreboard was a dream. Now it's a reality. Never stop chasing your dream. Thanks to the Oakland roots. There you go, Bino. Laney built 2 claps, ready. Wow. All right, folks. This is a celebration. Celebrating coaches November 16th of last year, 2024. Celebrating Coach John Beam at Laney College today. 45 years of service to Oakland young people. What an inspiration. Wow. 14 minutes ago, International Crisis Room 360, Laney College Athletic Director, former football coach John Beam severely injured in campus shooting. No arrests were announced. And then, of course, our November 18, 2024, from Zennie62 Media Game Day, Laney College football coach John Beam in his 45-year career on the sideline. Okay. And look at this beautiful field, folks. Our new field is done. It's amazing. This is March 24th, 2023. All right, folks, I can go on and on and on. This is truly a sad day. It really is. And but I'm going to end this right now. Oh, wait a minute. It says the media still hasn't reported anything yet. I just watched Kron. Yeah, that I'm going to. Anything I hear, I will make an immediate video. I don't care what anybody says about it, because somebody needs to report what the heck is going on. Look, let's talk about Laney College. Is there a vigil down there? Is there a candlelight vigil going on? I need to go and see if that's happening. If you see anything at all, let me know. Text me. Here's my phone number right here. 7565, because we all are also wondering where the person who did this is and what the progress in searching for him. Nobody's announced a reward. Is there a reward for catching this creep? There's got to be. Right? My reward is to announce that you did it and thank you. That's best I can do right now. I don't have $20,000 laying around to do that, okay? So, but this is horrible. Absolutely horrible, and more horrible. And I've gone on here for, 1 hour and 30 minutes. No, 1 hour and Folks, I'm just really sad. Yeah, it is disgusting behavior. It really is. Thank you, AJ. Yeah, it is absolutely disgusting. And again, Oakland's got to change. I don't care who doesn't want to hear it. You're gonna hear it. This has got to stop. It's got to stop now. It can't wait for a future. Can't wait for anything else. It's got to stop now. And it's, right now. And AJ says all we can do is just pray, 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 and pray some more. And yeah, AJ, it's like it's enough. Like I said, we lost 3 sports teams in less than 10 years. We've had a reduction in passenger volume at Oakland Airport since 2022 of 30%. That means our airport has declined by 1/3. Think about all that. We're literally shrinking while San Francisco is growing, and the mayor talking over there about what you're doing. What's going on with us? All right, wake up, folks. Let's get it together. In honor of John Beam, we've got to do this. All right. Thank you all, and thank you all for your participation. And God bless you, and God bless John Beam, and God bless the city of Oakland, and God bless Oaklanders, and God bless everybody.